complicated. Midlife is one of the most crucial stages of our lives. As financial advisors, you would have seen many of your midlife clients struggle personally and or professionally as they're going through major changes in their lives on the home front, with their families and significant others, and or with their employers. So with people living longer and healthier lives, how can we as a community support your clients going through midlife change in a really positive way? I started my journey of understanding what is the meaning of life in my early 40s when my parents were approaching retirement age. I have learnt so much since I started that journey, that asking that question, what is the meaning of life when you're on the cusp of the second half of your life? Well, I've ended up building a startup out of everything that I've learnt. So I want to share a few nuggets with you. As trusted advisors, financial planners are in the best position to shape your midlife clients' lives for the good. And you can actually make a huge wave of social change as your clients go through that emotional roller coaster, and you potentially might be going through it yourself. If we all do it together with our seatbelts strapped in, we can go through the twists and turns and the thrills of laughter and joy, and also tears. But those are all just very temporary as we go through the second half of our lives. So how do we do this? Well, let's come back to what midlife challenges throws up for us that causes this emotional turmoil. Well, the biggest challenges we've found with our community is that people really struggle with understanding what gives them a sense of purpose, along with how they can be engaged and have that sense of belonging with a group or a community that they care for. So how do we bring this together in order to serve our clients more effectively so they can lead a meaningful and healthy, connected lifestyle in the second half of their lives when they are going through lots of life changes? Okay, well, sense of purpose. What does that mean? Well, it is identifying what your clients get lots of joy out of, what are they good at, what are they experienced in, and most importantly, where is the world going and what does the world need from them? By having this understanding, everything else falls into place. Have you thought about what gives you a sense of purpose? Are you clear about it? And how did you get to that point of understanding what gives you that sense of purpose? How you've embraced that journey of seeking the meaning of your purpose may well be very important in guiding your clients through that similar stage as well. And then the other part of it, social interaction and engagement, that community is so important. When I visited the blue zones where people live longer and healthier lives than the rest of their counterparts in their country, I have found that the community engagement, part of an intergenerational community, is one of the things that really makes people thrive no matter what age. And that's probably one of the things that's missing in Western society. As the child of immigrants, I was always taught by my parents that we have to respect our elders. That's very important in Asian society. But I have noticed that probably part of the angst of getting older in places like Australia, the UK, America, and South Africa is that lack of respect for elders also makes people pull back from getting older and not acknowledging that they are going through a different stage in life. It is a part of life, but we can do it well by letting go of the angst and embracing the challenges and the changes that are happening today as well as tomorrow. So in places like Okinawa in Japan, they have structured that support network in the form of what's called a moai. A moai is a group of 5 to 10 people who are with you for life. They're not family members, but the people are about the same age as you who may have different jobs and professional backgrounds, but they're facing the ups and downs and provide that emotional support for their fellow moai members. And this is something that any of us can create for ourselves, whether it's through hobbies, forming a friendship group, joining a men's group, or maybe even contributing to an existing group that exists, that may have that structure of enabling you to contribute your skills and for people to get to know you and what your value is. So this is equally as important for you as a financial advisor as well as for your clients. We're all going through it. So let's acknowledge that emotional roller coaster and what's required to support us all in going through those changes. So the first is actually having those safe places to have these sorts of conversations. For you, it might be talking to your peers, might be talking to your clients. It might be asking lots of questions and asking people what do they need in order to be emotionally supported, not just the functional goals that they might be trying to achieve, but understanding both what their goals are as well as what are the emotional blockers that's holding them back from achieving those goals. Because sometimes it's easy to articulate what we want, but sometimes it's harder to really understand how we get there. So having those meaningful conversations along with adaptive mindset so that we can face into that uncertainty that is inevitably going to come our way. Already we've seen in the last year that life is unpredictable. We cannot predict what might happen either in our immediate lives and our families and our health, but also in the wider world of the community as well as employment. So bringing the external and the internal world together and being really clear about our identity and how we can play a part in the world and our clients is going to set ourselves up no matter what changes happen in our lives. And by knowing exactly how do we feel fulfilled, what our value is, means that we can also create new opportunities, whether it's through our current job opportunities at work or through our businesses, or taking stock and taking pause in understanding where the gaps are either in our skills or experience or what the world needs. And if we can bridge that gap by having conversations and doing our research and trying new things, that is the key to a seamless transition from where we are today to that next chapter in our second half of our lives. And it's not just about filling the gaps. It's actually enjoying the journey, that roller coaster of life. We are going to have those ups and downs. That's inevitable. But whether you're having fun on the way is something that we can control. If we just go with the ride and know that eventually things will slow down, things will come down, and we will be on the lift up on the roller coaster of life and midlife change. That enables us to face in more positively, individually as well as society, as collectively we all embrace an aging population. So be the change that others seek. As financial advisors, you are in such a great position to have meaningful conversations, to be an example to your clients, and create the social fabric that might be missing in the West for people in their second half of their lives, to make people feel like they have the ability to create positive change in their companies as well as society as a whole. So everyone in the audience can play a role together and individually to create a better world for tomorrow.